Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We are changing up the style a little bit. My name is Corey, just a quick introduction.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're going to be talking about, as we usually do, movies. Not movies, though. We're sticking
Not
to
movies
just...
this week.
We got lots of Game of Thrones to catch up with.
We do.
So if you're into Game of Thrones and you want to just recap and talk about our theories and maybe some things you didn't think about, because I feel like every time you talk to a new person, there's like a new character connection that you forgot about. And they bring it up.
Yeah.
And they go, what about this person, that person? And you go, oh my God! So, last three episodes. This is what we're episode 5 we're up to?
Episode 5, yeah.
And there's only 8 in this
I believe
season?
so, 8 or 9, yeah.
What takes them so long? Just make shows. So do we got to recap all of them? We want to just review the last one and then do a recap? How do you want to do it?
I mean, we can start. We'll try and go through what we remember on the earlier ones,
Okay.
and then we'll go through the latest one, obviously more in detail. But
So episode 3 was the one where Daenerys, the stratagem gets started,
yes,
and Tyrion theorizes that they have to take Casterly Rock because it is where the money is. Is that right?
that's right. He decides to take Castle Rock. No, not because it's got the money. It's because of the fact it means so much. That was where his dad was. Tywin? Yeah, I'm glad I remember. I always get him and Tyrion's name mixed up. But Tywin, that was his main place, and Tyrion just wanted to get back at them.
Right.
Because the real money was obviously, we found out, with the Tyrells.
Right.
But so they already had the money. So, like you were saying, Tyrion has the idea of sending I think we already spoke about the Greyjoys, what happened in the Greyjoys in the second episode.
Yeah,
that already
we did.
happened.
We talked about
Yeah.
it.
So that messed up.
Yeah.
Then he sends the Unsullied to Castle Rock.
Right.
And you're thinking whenever they're getting to Castle Rock that they're going to be defeated by the army. And then you realise that only some of the Unsullied has gone straight to Castle Rock. The others have gone through a little cave that takes them underneath Castle Rock and take them from the inside. So you're thinking at this point, wow, Tyrion's like a genius. And then what happens after that is it comes that point with Grey Worm, is he's thinking, why? I thought that there was more of them, because they defeat him in such a little time. And then the next thing you know is the Greyjoy. The Euron,
yeah.
Greyjoy is on his way with his 1,000 ships. So that's the last thing we saw of...
Still, that's
Grey
two
Worm.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
And the last thing is him looking back at his ships.
Exactly.
And they're on fire because Euron is invading them from the rear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But before that...
You have to be careful with terminology like that,
I was
especially
gonna
when
say
you're
because-
talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and especially when you're talking about someone like Grey Worm, who just had his thing with Daenerys' maid. That was in that same episode.
Yes, that was... What's her name?
I forgot
Missandei
her
or
name.
something like that?
I think so. I think you're right. I think it's Missandei.
See, that's confusing. Okay, Game of Thrones. There's so many characters. You have Missandei. I think that's the name. You know, I know we could just Google this, but it's much more fun to do it this way.
Yeah.
And then there's Melisandre, who's the Red Woman.
That's right.
And then you have... what's his name? Reek? What's his name?
Theon
Greyjoy, his sister. His sister has a name like someone else.
It's like Arya, but it's like Aya.
Aya, yeah.
Aya.
There's so many names that are too
I
close
think it's
together.
Aya and Arya, I think. Because I always want to say Arya's name is Aya, because when you hear them talk about, like, they'll say Arya Stark, it's Arya Stark.
Right. Anyway, so the Unsullied are defeated as far as we know.
Well, we don't know. All they see is what's the thing that they have on their sail?
The octopus.
The octopus.
Drowned,
they see the octopus
drowned god.
Yep. They see the octopus coming along, or a bunch of octopuses coming along.
Octopi.
Octopi, is that what you say? Coming along, and he's like, I don't. He probably pooped his pants, or his toga. I don't know what you would say.
So he turns from unsullied to a sullied?
Maybe.
Or soiled?
Yeah, soiled. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so he gets soiled.
Yes.
I can't remember. So Daenerys, basically at the end of that episode, she realizes that she's losing.
So we had spoken about Jon Snow showing up at how long it would take Jon Snow to show up to Daenerys. And I was hoping it would take the entire season, but this season, as we go through in this episode, or the next 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, how quickly an idea comes into plan, and they just carry it out.
I know.
They're not even wasting any time. It's not like how long it took Jaime and Brienne to get from one place to another, how long it took Arya to get from one place to another. They're not messing with that. Jon Snow gets on his boat, and then 2 seconds later, he's a Dragonstone.
I think they discovered maybe a public transportation that they didn't realize was there before. Suddenly they're on the subway.
Yeah.
And they're just getting from place to place so quickly. I think that's where all my predictions have gone completely. I think every episode we go through predictions.
Yeah.
But I think I'm learning really quickly. First of all, I need to mention this. Next season, season 8, which is only 8 episodes, the next one's 8 episodes, I assume, or whatever, is the last season.
So we've just been told by our producer
The booth.
that her name is Yara.
Yara.
Not Aya.
Arya and Yara.
Arya. Right, Arya Stark, right? It's not Arya Stark. Arya Stark?
Arya Stark.
Okay, awesome.
And
Yeah,
Yara
she's not
Greyjoy.
Okay. Yara Greyjoy. There you
Yara
go. Okay.
Greyjoy.
Okay. And Euron, right? Euron? Okay, we're good there. So...
Wait, this is the next season's the last season.
Is it going to be the last
Yes,
season?
It is. Now, they already have, offshoot shows in the works, but this storyline is over next season.
Interesting.
So, I don't know if they'll do, prequels or what.
Well, okay, so let's look at Tyrion's character. How he's...
The short guy.
The short guy. The imp, as they call him, or the half man. He's always been known for he's been able to stay alive because of how intelligent he is.
Right.
So he comes up with all these ideas. So far this season, has he had an idea that's actually come together? Because I believe it was his idea to send the Unsullied to Castle Rock. They lose.
Yeah.
It was his idea to send the Greyjoys to King's Landing. They got destroyed. He was wrong.
Right.
And he also messed up because of they didn't protect the Tyrells? They didn't protect the House Tyrell.
Right.
Jamie knew exactly what he was thinking and just took over House Tyrell. So,
Yeah.
What did you think of the scene between Jamie and Mother Tyrell? Hopefully our producer will come back in the room.
Queen Mum?
The Queen Mum, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a great scene for the two characters. I think this all comes into the play of I feel like so much of the show is Jon Snow. His goals are so clear.
Yeah.
This is what he wants to do. This is what he needs to do. So you get part of that enjoyment is watching him just being so goal oriented, right? And then Daenerys the same way. Cersei, Jaime is the linchpin. He's the guy that could fall in either direction at either time. Because you don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to just stick with Cersei? But he always feels like he's on the edge of being tipped and becoming a good guy. He's so on the edge.
I mean, in my opinion, I think he's already kind of become that good guy. I think he did that whenever he helped Brienne. I think, yes, he's still loyal to his sister because she's his sister /lover children.
See, you're wrong there. He just has a thing for blondes.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah, that's true because he liked Brienne. I mean, I said I've made it very clear. I think he's one of the best characters on there. I love it how he was a character for me who I absolutely hated. I mean, we were talking earlier about the fight between him and Ned Stark. And obviously we knew who'd win that because Sean Bean dies in everything that he's in. But it was. I remember watching that, thinking, oh, I really hope Ned Stark takes Jaime Lannister's head off. And of course he doesn't, and Jaime ends up killing his best friend, which leads to Ned getting arrested and everything. Obviously, so on. But now it's like. It goes from a guy who uses a spear to stab someone through the eye to showing up at this old lady's house, being told by his sister, give her the most gruesome death ever, and him just telling her, just drink this, there'll be no pain, you'll be fine.
Right.
You're literally going to fall into a deep sleep and die. So he's still killed her, but he's allowed her to go out on a good way rather than having a head taken off or publicly being shamed or anything. So I think that's really cool how, when you think about it, how that character is transformed. So,
see, I think that his character is interesting in that there's so much sympathy for him, but in my opinion, like if I go back and look at everything he's done almost nothing to redeem himself. Everything he's done is done out of selfishness. He likes Cersei, so he does things for Cersei. He liked Brienne for whatever reason. Brienne...
But why did he have to like Brienne?
I don't know why he liked... He just did. I mean, he didn't have to. She was his captor.
Exactly.
He was going to drag her, and he just kind of had not a thing for her. Just, I think he appreciated her... I don't know. That's the part that everyone sympathized with. Like, Brienne's like this good character who has like this strong code of honor. Code of ethics is another story, but definitely a code of honor, right?
Yeah.
And I think he appreciated that, so everyone appreciates Jaime because he saw that in her. But he still hasn't done anything, really, besides helping the people he cares about when he cares about them. And he helped Tyrion escape.
Exactly.
But he still kind of holds it against him that Tyrion killed his dad. Which he shouldn't, because his dad was a jerk who deserved to die. So my thing is that Jaime really doesn't have any kind of moral compass I could get behind. He just seems to kind of do things that he's really led by his heart. So like when he feels for someone, he does for them. But otherwise, he's a complete wild card. Like, I have no idea what he's doing.
But he's not like killing innocent people like he used to. I mean, before it would be
true.
like, I don't like you, you've insulted me, I'm going to kill you. Now I mean, I agree in the fact that you'd still say he's a bad guy, but I mean, what would you say that would make him be the good guy? Like, just going against Cersei? He's not going to do that. I think his biggest weakness is his loyalty.
Yeah.
And that's what's caused him to stick with Cersei, which will probably end up leading to his downfall. But, I mean, like I said before, I mean, it's just different how that character is transformed. I mean, this guy was the Kingslayer. This guy was known as the most feared guy on the battlefield. Now he lost an arm. He had to train to fight with his left hand. He's become, it's just become a different type of character.
Yeah.
More of a character I think people can get behind. Just because you still see like him and Cersei, even though they're still banging and everything, and they're still actively continue their incest relationship. You still got to say that he's a character that you could really see him betraying her.
Right.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think he'll ever kill Cersei, but I could see him leaving her, like not saving her, choosing not to save her.
Okay, this is how I'm gonna make a metaphor, and this is how I see Jaime.
Okay.
Let's say there's two banks. There's the evil bank and the good bank.
Okay.
And when good guys do something good, they put money in the good bank.
Yeah.
And then bad guys, they put money in the bad bank.
Okay.
Okay, as you do these actions. Okay? Jamie has moved from constantly filling the bad bank to not filling either bank.
Okay.
He still, in my mind, has a deficit. He's still got all this money in the bad bank. He hasn't done anything to fill the good bank. When he starts countering all the money he's put in the bad bank, that's when I'll start seeing him as a good guy. Now I see him right now as just like a sympathetic bad guy. But he hasn't done anything to redeem that deficit. That's how I see him. He's murdered people in cold blood numerous times.
But you were just saying about how he defended his dad and everything. He had the ability in this latest episode to kill Tyrion right then and there. Right. He had a sword in his hand. He could have just taken his head off. He didn't. He was just pissed off because he's still his family and everything. Cersei has had no problem. She turned on Tyrion straight away. She looked for a reason to turn on Tyrion. She's hated him the whole time. That's the difference between them two. Before Jamie was like that, now he's changed. I mean, I've always said that him and Tyrion have that kind of weird relationship in the fact that I think Jamie's really the only one who's looked out for Tyrion, and Tyrion knows that. But then again, I feel recently it's been the other way around. Tyrion has looked out for Jamie. Yeah. I mean, as we kind of go into the next episode, I think that's apparent. But anyway, moving on from Jamie, because I think we've spoken about him enough. So we find out Joffrey's killer, the mystery of Joffrey's killer. I thought it was Littlefinger, and it turns out... Now, again, it might still have been Littlefinger.
But they revealed that before.
They didn't really know it was her, though. They didn't flat out say it was her.
She said it to...
Jamie.
Whose killer are we talking about?
Joffrey. Who killed Joffrey?
Yeah, the old... What's her name? Tyrell.
House
Queen Mum.
Yeah, Queen Mum.
She said to her niece, or her granddaughter, you think I would let that guy marry my granddaughter or be... She told her straight out that I killed him.
Okay, I don't remember.
There was a conversation they had where she told her granddaughter, you don't think I'd ever leave you to that guy, would you?
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, but I mean, and I guess they even make that point whenever Jamie's talking to Cersei and he's like, look, if you're her and you've got a granddaughter, this beautiful granddaughter, and she's got the choice of Joffrey or Tommen. Joffrey is just this evil little prig, and Tommen, who's this easily manipulated little boy. Right. You know who you're going to pick. Right. So it was perfect for them. So it made perfect sense, and I think people thought it, but I think a lot of people think who actually they knew she had something behind it. Yeah. But for her to just flat out say,
who's the one who did it?
I was the one, I put it in his drink, when really we don't really know that. It was probably Littlefinger who actually did it from her telling him to do it, but we don't know. Because it was perfect timing, if you remember Joffrey dying and Littlefinger running away with Sansa.
That's right.
So,
they ran to Dorne? Where did they go?
They ran to the Eyrie? The Eyrie, where the Mummy, make the little man fly.
Oh, that's right.
Make him fly,
Mummy. Didn't they, when they got there? God, there's so much stuff that happened, and I forgot so much of it. Yeah. Yeah, the little kid, that kid hasn't shown up again either.
No, he is. You
don't think he'll ever show up?
I don't think he'll show up.
Last thing I remember is him going off to get toughened up, go to camp.
Yeah.
He's joined the military.
Yeah. Still wiping his mother's milk off his face.
So what was so that was the third episode.
That was the third episode. So the fourth. So the next one was the biggest thing about that. Oh well, what did you think of that third episode?
It was great.
You thought it was really good?
Yeah.
So what would you have given it out of 10?
7.5.
7.5. I feel like you've given every episode. I think you gave the first two episodes both 7. No, what did you give I think you gave the first one 6.5.
Yeah.
I gave it 6. And then the second one, I think you gave it a 7.5 as well.
Yeah.
I think I gave it an 8.
They've maintained their consistency.
Yeah.
Quality.
I think it's got better and better and better. I think that third episode was the best out of the three. It's just got better, especially with the war and everything. Then we go into the fourth episode. So I would have given it an 8.5.
The fourth episode?
The fourth episode, I probably would have given an 8.5.
I'd give it an 8. An 8 or an 8.5.
That's a really
very good episode.
Yeah, that one, okay. So with this one, I think this just shows Daenerys. I love what Daenerys did in this. Daenerys was told by the Queen Mum that I've been able to survive because I've surrounded myself with all these great men, but I never listened to any of them. I did my own thing.
Right.
And I love the fact that this wasn't Tyrion's idea. This was all her idea of, look, first of all, I'm going to go there. Her first reaction was, I'm going to go to King's Landing and burn the whole place.
Right.
But then she was like, no, I can't do that.
But Jon convinced her.
Jon convinced not. Yeah, so that was the thing. Jon showed up just shows up. We thought it'd be a long journey. No, shows up.
Just got there.
Yeah, takes his super boat there.
We need to come up with a name for how they get around, okay?
Yeah.
So here in Dallas, we have the DART. It's Dallas Area Rapid Transport.
Okay.
So that would be like the Westeros Rapid Automated Transport. So the RAP.
The RAP?
The RAP?
I think we can do the RAP, yeah. So
Rapid.
Jon Snow takes the RAP.
Wait, what's the P stand for?
I don't know what the state. I don't know.
Westeros Rapid Automated
Patrolman. I don't know. That could be the people.
So they take the thing. They take the
How
subway.
about
Right.
Boat.
What they don't show right before they're like all climbing that little rowboat.
Yeah.
Right after they cut, you hear them go.
There you go.
And they just drive off.
So that's the RAP.
That is.
That's the RAP. So it's
the RAB.
The RAP. There you go. Yeah, that works. The RAP. So Jon Snow takes the RAP to Daenerys and shows up there, convinces her not to just go to King's Landing. They realise after they've lost House Tyrell, they've got no money. What I love about it is the fact that they know about what's happened to the Unsullied. No, sorry, they don't know what's happened to the Unsullied.
They haven't mentioned it.
They haven't mentioned what's happened, so they don't know. But what they did is exactly what Cersei and Jaime had thought before of, we'll let them take it straight after. Daenerys has just gone, you know what? Let them think that they've got it, because I know that I can't afford to feed all my armies. I mean, she's got the Dothraki. They're some big men. Yeah. They eat a lot. They probably need a cow each a day. So it's...
that's a lot of cows.
That's a lot of cows. Possibly some bull as well. There's a lot of bull in there as well. So she takes her dragon and the Dothraki, the best army in Game of Thrones. Are we agreement on that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were the captain of an army and you could pick any army, you'd pick the Dothraki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or would you pick the Knights of the Vale?
I would pick the Wildlings.
The Wildlings?
Yeah, they're like
against
barbarians.
but against the Dothraki are just like...
You know what? My favorite in the whole show is actually the Lannisters. I love their armor. The Lannister armor is so awesome.
That is pretty
Jamie's
cool.
armor when he walks around his armor is so cool. But you're right.
The Dothraki
don't
even have armor. They don't even have armor. They're hardly even clothed. They wear trousers and like some sort of like breastplate thing, which isn't even like armor. It's made out of some sort of cow.
It's just pieces of the cow as they're
the skin of the cow
as they're just like cutting it apart.
Yeah,
the cow just kind of falls on them.
Exactly.
Those leather pieces.
Yep. So they use that. They wear that. I mean, they come along, and what's amazing is not only have you got the best army, you've got a freaking woman on a dragon just setting fire to everyone.
Right.
And it was, I mean, that war was just brilliant. I mean, it was, that whole time that was probably some of the best parts of Game of Thrones I've seen, because the whole time you're watching that, you're thinking a main character's going to die. It's either going to be Jaime, it's going to be Daenerys, it's going to be Tyrion, Or
Bronn.
a character, that we haven't really mentioned at all is Bronn.
Yeah.
Not Bran, Bronn. Yeah, this is going back to the characters sounding like each other again. That whole time where I thought Bronn was going to die. And then perfect, and I don't know, like, how you feel about this. Like, Bronn to me is kind of, I think him being with Jaime is almost what kind of makes Jaime more of a good guy as well. Because everyone loves Bronn.
Yeah.
And why does everyone love Bronn? Because everyone loves Tyrion. Tyrion's probably everyone's favourite character. Not
Most
yours,
people.
We'll get to your character later.
Which is why the last episode I give it an 8.5.
Exactly.
We'll
We'll get to that. But Tyrion, Bronn saved Tyrion. Now he's with Jaime. Bronn, Mr. Good Guy, saves everyone. Is controlling a giant, what would you call that thing? Crossbow
Yeah.
to shoot down the dragon that Daenerys is on. I mean, you got good guy versus good guy. And that's where it's come to. So you're like, wow, this is intense. I thought Bronn was going to die.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get shot by the fire and die. That doesn't happen. You then get Jaime there, sees Daenerys. We're trying to get the arrow out of, the giant arrow out of, I've forgotten the dragon she was using. Was it Dragon? Or Drogon?
Drogon.
I think it's Drogon, because she named him after Drogo.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. And the two others are named after her brothers.
Oh.
Rhaegar and I can't remember the other one. what the
Oh,
other
that's
one's
how
called.
it is.
But,
Drogon.
yeah.
Drogon, is that it?
I think it's Drogon. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Producer might come out in a bit and tell us.
Correct.
So she's trying to pull the arrow out of
The
Drogon. We'll just say the dragon, because we're not too sure what he likes to be called. Trying to pull the arrow out of his wing. You've got Jaime, sees his spear, grabs the spear, starts going for Daenerys. Tyrion the whole time, again, you see Tyrion, good guy, cheering for his, as you say, so-called bad guy brother, telling him, go away, run away, you idiot, survive, I don't want to see you die.
Right.
And he's trying to kill Daenerys. Do you think that's a bad guy part? Do you think that makes Jaime still a bad guy because he's trying to kill Daenerys? Because you've got to understand, in his defense, this is the first time he's ever really seen Daenerys. He doesn't know a lot about her.
Right. I don't think that. I don't see that as him being a bad guy. I think there he's like literally. He just watched his whole army just get destroyed by this.
Yeah.
Like weapon of war.
Yeah.
This dragon, and I think he saw an opportunity. You know, he's in battle mode.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're weak. Let me go take her out. I don't think he's thinking about the morality of, and you're right, he doesn't know Daenerys is like, I mean, even Jon Snow didn't know who she was. I don't know who you are. You're just some girl who comes across the ocean with a huge army and says, I own this place. Like, it's literally like, I think in Jaime's mind, it's do you go with the devil you know or the devil you don't? And he's choosing the one he knows, which is a completely logical way to go. I just think that his shortcomings are when he has opportunities to ask, to find out about these people. I think he's gonna sway. I think he's gonna do something redeeming soon.
And we both said that Bronn saves him because the dragon realizes what's going to happen and he's about to shoot Jaime with the fire, and Bronn, who's everywhere, somehow makes it. He must have borrowed the rat and somehow made it from the crossbow that had just been destroyed all the way over to where the other side of the island where Jaime was, and was able to knock him off the horse.
The last moment save.
Yep. And wrong again. We were talking, and I'm glad
we both thought that.
I'm glad that this didn't, that we didn't do this, like didn't have space between this episode and the next one, because I would have been completely wrong, as I've been through most of this season. As we've been saying, they're not wasting any time. I thought Jaime probably won't appear until the end of this season, or maybe even into next season. He shows up in the next episode. In fact, the beginning of the episode,
they answer the question. It's interesting how I think we've been so set up on how slow the show can move.
Yeah.
And then this series,
It's the fastest season.
so fast. Everyone's just going from A to B to A to B.
Yeah.
And like, there's just no time in between. Like the writers have no time to just have long scenes of them just doing nothing. Like some episodes do. They like just drag out a whole storyline. And this season is just so fast. So, which is fun because I think the tempo feels like everything's moving so quickly compared to other seasons that it's like it makes it feel more like the pressure's on. Like things are really happening. Like these characters have to get moving or they're all going to die.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just incredible. Absolutely incredible how quick. But so I'm going to do my first Would You Rather with you right now, okay? This is something that me and Corey have spoken about before, not on this podcast, but so this is what I'm going to try and add to most of. We did a little game on the first episode we did was what was it? We did it in the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, but it was like, what is his name and how did he die?
Oh yeah,
that's my poor Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. But this
the
one
Titanic
is
people.
Would you rather? Okay.
Would you rather,
okay. So my question
will I
is,
be maimed in this? Would you rather?
Possibly.
Would you?
So
do other people? Do you do this with a lot of people?
No, I don't. Just with you.
Are you
just
serious?
With you.
The would you rather?
I've done it with a couple of people, but I prefer do it with you.
Because everyone listening needs to know that what you tend to do, like, as you know, I'm a big fan of the Marvel movies.
Absolutely, yeah.
The would you rather's are generally in this vein.
So, okay.
You could see you're going to sit in the theater and
so
watch.
let me just set up like what Corey's kind of, for those of you who don't have a clue what I'm talking about. Me and Corey, I've done this to Corey before. Corey's a huge Marvel fan, and eventually he's been wanting to do review a Marvel movie for a while, and we'll probably end up doing Guardians of the Galaxy pretty soon, maybe even next week. But what I did was, knowing that, I wanted to find out. I also knew that Avatar was one of his worst movies, so I couldn't
the
just
James Cameron Avatar.
Yeah,
you have to clarify
the James Cameron
because
Avatar.
it just so happens that Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my favorite shows ever. So,
but the movie,
which has nothing to do with the show, it just has to be clarified.
Okay. So what I would do is, everyone's obviously heard of Would you rather do this or this? So I asked him, I said, would you rather work on Guardians of the Galaxy, but the issue would be, once you're done with being in Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll be blind for the rest. You get to spend, or say, a week with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you'll be blind. Or would you rather be forced to watch Avatar? You can't watch any other movie but Avatar. So basically, anytime
I don't know why it's
doesn't matter. He could put Guardians of the Galaxy on and Avatar will show. If he walks into a room and someone's watching a movie, it changes to Avatar. And I asked him what he would prefer. What was
Why
your
would I ever
response?
choose option B? Why?
But you'd rather be blind then?
Oh,
is it really that bad?
Oh,
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
think I understood the question.
Yeah, so would
okay, so I get to do the things you said with the Guardians of the Galaxy,
But then
and I
you'd
have
be
to
blind.
be blind.
Yeah, for the rest of your life. Or watch
or
Avatar.
have the curse of Avatar.
Yeah.
Curse of Avatar is bad. It's really bad because it doesn't only affect me. If I'm blind, only I'm blind. But if I'm Curse of Avatar, because you said every time I walk into a room, Avatar plays.
You
for
could
everybody.
survive without movies, though, couldn't you?
That's true.
I mean, you could play on video games and stuff like that. I'm not saying that it's gonna every time you turn on the TV. I'm just saying every time you watch a movie,
Yeah.
it's Avatar. So you could go to the
So
movie
bad.
theater and go, I can't wait to watch the new Star Wars movie. And then all of a sudden you got Sigourney Weaver and Sam Worthington up there talking about this new island called, I don't even remember what the island, Pandorum or Pandora.
Looking for unobtainium.
So anyway, so that being said, so going back to Game of Thrones, my
What would you rather?
I was thinking about this. So one of them would be, this is how you're going to die. Okay, because everyone on Game of Thrones eventually dies. Okay, so
Right.
this is your death.
Okay.
Would you rather die by how, kind of going ahead of ourselves, but how the Tarleys die?
Okay.
You'll get burned to death.
Dragon breath death.
Dragon breath death, love it. Or die as Ramsay Bolton did.
He died in the war, didn't he?
No, Ramsay Bolton died by eaten by his own dogs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because they captured him again. Okay.
Yeah. So would you rather burn to death or get eaten by your own dogs?
I think I'd rather get the dragon breath death.
Okay.
Because that seems so intense.
But if I told you, with the dogs, they might not actually kill you. They might just maim you really badly. It's probably going to last a few hours, and you may or may not survive. There's a chance.
Always maiming.
There's a chance.
There's always when I would you rather that I'm going to come out of it as an amputee. Every time!
Or blind.
Okay, so I get chewed on by dogs, but there's a slight chance I'll live,
But slight chance you'll live.
or just dragon
You'll be
breath.
maimed. You'll definitely be maimed. You'll probably be blind.
I think I would take the chance to be alive.
You take it to be alive, so you would go through, probably take a few hours. Like, they'll be eating you for
Jesus.
hours. Yeah. They'll be chewing on you.
I would rather stay alive.
You'd rather stay alive,
Yeah.
even though you'd be in pain. By the way, when I say
I'm in
stay
pain
alive,
right now.
you'll just be left there. You'll be left there. You're not going to be rescued. No one's going to
so I'll
protect
just
you.
bleed out and die?
You'll end up bleeding out.
So I'm
and
dead
die.
anyway.
So you'll either die from... They might make it a quick death. They might just bite onto your neck and kill you straight away. Or they might kill you by just biting on you, getting full up from one of your thighs or something, and then be like, you know what, we'll leave him.
I take the quick death. I'm gonna be left in a cell.
So you want the dragon breath.
I thought you meant when you had a slight chance you'll live. Like, I get to live the rest of my life.
No,
free.
not at all. You might live
just
for like...
bleed out and die.
You might live. You might end up like helping yourself. But I'm just saying, who knows? It's a pack of dogs, mate.
I think, considering I have no guarantee that I'll get medical attention after the dogs chew off my whatevers, I'll go with the dragon breath death.
Okay.
I'll go out like the Tarleys.
I might come up with another would you rather before the end of the show, but hopefully you guys like that. And if you guys have got any
I feel like your would you rather, so you always give me two options, and I start leaning towards one, and then you just make it as horrible as possible. And force me the other way.
Respect the would you rather rules, okay? Respect the rules of the game. Don't blame the player, just blame the game.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so moving on. So that's a good lead to obviously the dragon breath death, because obviously the Lannister army have given up. And who do we find in the Lannister army? The guy with the greatest name in Game of Thrones history? Dickon, yeah. Dickon and his father. And last name, I never thought about this until we were talking earlier about this, and you mentioned that it was Sam's dad and brother.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, and I heard House of Tarly, House of Tarly, House of Tarly several times, but never put the two together.
My wife did the same thing, because as soon as they cut to Sam in that episode, I said, well, he's the boss now. He's the leader of the house. And
Yeah.
I don't think she was invested in the show. It didn't register with her. And then in that same scene, the Meisters are talking about the letters they've gotten
Yep.
after Sam leaves the room. And they mention the two Tarleys getting killed. And my wife's like, she's like, oh, that means he's the leader. I'm like, that's what I said 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I don't think there was... I mean...
That's right, because he says, I don't have the heart to tell him.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like I said, like every time you talk to a new person about Game of Thrones, there's like some new connection between the characters that you didn't think about.
Yeah,
before.
that's something you missed, or
I was texting my friend today. We're going back and forth about Game of Thrones, and I said to him, because now it's obvious at this episode that Daenerys and Jon have a little bit of, at least Daenerys likes him.
yes, Daenerys does.
I
like
feel
him.
like Jon might even be too tunnel vision to even consider it.
I think he's looking at her, but he's looking at her going, if you maybe put on a fur coat and maybe dyed that hair red, I might be more interested in you. Maybe she puts on a Scottish accent as well. Starts going, you know nothing, Jon Snow. Then he might be
Maybe.
more interested.
They should have had a scene like that.
Where she just becomes...
She just, he says something about dragons, like, what do they eat sheep? And she's like, you don't know anything, Jon Snow. And he just starts to get doughy-eyed. He's like,
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And then her hair is like being reflected in the sun from behind her, and it looks red.
Did a part of... There you go. Did a part of you think that when the dragon was up, what the hell was she doing with that dragon next to Jon Snow? Was she trying to, or was that her way of flirting? Is that how she does things? She's like, she puts her dragon's face right in his face, and it's just like, let's see if you survive this without doing like the Unsullied and soiling yourself.
I think she landed there to look cool. I don't know why she landed there. She landed there with the dragon, comes home. She sees Jon, flies over there. She likes him. I think she already likes him. She likes him already. And then, so she lands to meet him, and I think the dragon started acting strange. And I think she noticed that, like...
The dragon likes her.
That
the dragon likes him. Yeah.
And I think she was just, like, watching it all play out.
Why does the dragon like him?
Because he's a Targaryen.
Exactly.
'Cause
She's the mother of dragons. He's the brother of dragons. It's true.
So now, but once the dragon acknowledged him and like that the dragon likes him, now she's like totally. She's head over heels now. I mean, it's obvious.
I think so.
And that's when I pointed out to my friend, because we were talking about Jorah Mormont, right?
The friend zone, man.
The friend, Sir in the friend zone.
Yes, sir in the friend zone.
He now Jon's got his girl. Jon's got his father's respect. Jon's got his father's sword. So like he's got everything he wants.
Jorah's not going to hold a grudge, though. He's not the sort.
He's got
of
perfect
character.
skin.
True. He does have.
Jorah's got scarred up skin. So that's just another thing.
I mean, I like Jorah. He's one of my favourite characters. Where I'm going with this is I'm going to pass it on to you to talk about your favourite character that I think a lot of people forget about, and he was seen a lot in this episode, and he's just so funny, and I think people miss his parts because they just think, oh, he's not that big of a character, but really he's a huge character. And I think he's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So
he seems to be.
Well, let's explain who I'm talking about.
Okay, so his family crest is an onion, right? So we've been calling him the Onion Knight.
Correct.
And like I can't even remember his first name at the moment because I always forget it. His last name's Seaworth. It's something Seaworth. It's driving me nuts because I was saying it all day today.
Barros. No. Hold on, we have a name. We're getting a name. The producer's coming out. What was the name we were asking about? Who's Sam's girlfriend? What's Sam's girlfriend called?
Gilly.
That was it. Well done.
Davos.
How did you not remember that?
Davos. I don't know. Davos Seaworth. I remember his last name.
You did remember his last name.
Davos Seaworth. He's got the onion.
What was... And then he finds the son, Stannis' bastard son. What's the son called?
Gendry.
Gendry. Okay, you did remember that. Okay. Not
But
Clovis.
It's not Stannis' son.
Stannis'
It's Robert Baratheon's bastard.
That's
son.
right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, you're right. So sorry, carry on.
Okay.
So why you love the Onion Knight?
Okay, so he's like, every time he's on screen, he says the most practical thing to do every time. And he's always like kind of fighting to do the right thing, Like, I mean, the whole first saga with him was the Red Woman, and he's like, she's black magic, she's crazy. Like, he was like trying to convince Stannis that what she's doing is over the edge, and she's going to take you to a place you want to be. And he turned out to be right, because she ended up killing his daughter and summoning like a weird spirit and tried to kill Robert Baratheon's kid and all sorts of weird stuff. So he, and then did he kind of like disappear for a couple seasons? No, he was hanging around the north area. He was always with Stannis.
Yes, he's always been with Stannis. Apart from whenever Stannis led them to war, he stayed with Jon Snow. Because remember, they went to Winterfell. Stannis went to Winterfell as well.
That's right. Okay, so I don't know. I just like him, and then this last episode had, I think, more Davos than
it did. But even in the episode before, I mean, like I think it was the episode. No, or it's 2 episodes before was when Jon Snow first meets.
Yes,
it's just
it's
like
the
they're
best
like,
line of the
what's her
episode.
name? What's the assistant or Daenerys's
Missandre
saying, look,
Missandre. I'm looking at the
Missandre. Melisandre.
Oh no, that's the
Melisandre is the Red Woman.
Missandei. Okay. Missandei is like, this is Daenerys.
Mother of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons.
Chain
Breaker
breaker.
of chains. All of the stuff goes on and on and on and on. And then Davos is like, this is Jon Snow. He's got no titles. He's a bastard. He's King of the North. And it's like, it's just
He's
brilliant.
so good.
It's like, what a legend. And just the look that Jon Snow gives him, it's like, dude, you could have like hyped me up a little bit better than that. But anyway, he's not a hype man, let's put it that way. So
I don't understand. You're just born when it's raining outside. You're Stormborn. Can I be born when things are just happening?
Stormborn?
He's Monday born. Why is he Monday born? He was born on Monday. On a Monday. I don't know.
Stormborn.
That's the only reason. It's a cool name.
It is.
They called you Stormborn because it was winter and it was raining outside, and I couldn't hear my radio because of the lightning, and you were born. Like, it's really kind of a dumb reason to have such a cool name.
Your first impression, you kind of changed there. Your first impression was Stone Man, ex-Stone Man, Jorah. I like that. You were like talking about that. You sounded just like him. Hello, Khaleesi. No, I can't do it.
No, Khaleesi, we can't do that. Because I'm in love with you. I mean... So, probably the most important thing in this last episode, besides Davos being in it a lot, which was a huge boon to the episode, I give it a 9.97.
So
really up there.
So in your opinion, instead of we need more cowbell, we need more Davos.
I want that last scene of the show to be Davos taking the Iron Throne.
That would be interesting. And what Jorah's his hand?
He would end up disbanding the whole monarchy and just doing a normal political.
Everyone would just be smugglers. They would just like take things from. That's all he did.
They'd all have fermented crab to eat.
Exactly. Yeah. Better get to your favourite place. Better get to your favourite broth, otherwise you'll pierce a hole in that chainmail. It's brilliant.
He's got good lines, man.
He does.
Okay, so the most important part of the episode is probably Tyrion meeting with Jaime.
But going back to Davos, who he found was pretty important.
He finds... So he was gone for like 3 seasons? Or 2 seasons?
He's been gone for a while because the Red Woman tried to kill him.
Yeah, so he disappears.
Exactly.
He's Robert Baratheon's bastard son.
Yeah.
Who Ned Stark finds in the first season.
Yes.
Working as a blacksmith. And then his name's Gendry. And Gendry has kind of a relationship with Davos in one of the seasons.
Because Davos saved him.
Yeah.
Davos got him.
Yeah. So Davos, for some reason, because he's just so damn practical, thinks, well, the guy was a blacksmith. He knows this city. He probably...
We need weapons.
So he just goes through, that district in King's Landing, and there he is. So he's like, And I love the scene where he's like, well, I don't know if you want to come with me. He's like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like you said earlier, he's turned into Christian Bale.
He is Christian Bale. He's Batman.
Or should we say he's turned into John Connor from Terminator... I can't remember what that... Christian Bale Terminator movie. I can't remember what that movie was called.
Salvation.
Salvation. There you go. Terminator Salvation.
An ironic name for the movie, if anything.
Exactly.
But I like how no one pays rent in this in this world. You're just like, well, let's go. Do you want to tell your landlord, whoever owns the blacksmith?
That's
Do
true.
you have any clients waiting for stuff being built? Do you want to let them know? He's like,
But no one also has IDs. So he might have just found a guy who was dead, who might have had a card on him that said, local blacksmith or something like that, or 2 swords for one, or
2 for 1 swords?
Yeah, horses and swords. Horseshoes and swords, or something like that. Shoes and swords, there you go. So he took over shoes and swords.
Right.
And shoes and swords. And he's there, so he doesn't have to pay rent.
Shoes and Swords and Beyond is the name of the show.
Shoes, Swords and Beyond. Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, let's go. He just up and leaves and grabs his favorite hammer.
Which is a pretty
It's an
amazing
awesome
hammer. Yeah.
If I was going to get I think it's cool to have a really different weapon than I think anyone has used in the show.
Yeah.
Because they're like, sword, sword, sword. Okay, Gentry, what weapon would he use? I wonder if the actor was involved. What weapon do you want to use? I want a giant maul hammer.
I mean, if you were in it though, you would pick a sword though, wouldn't you? You'd rather a sword than
I'd go with an axe.
Really? I'd want a sword.
The hammer's cool too.
That sword that freaking Jon Snow's got is pretty awesome.
Actually, you know what I've always liked is a flayed mace.
A mace?
I always thought it was the coolest thing. With the mace with the flayed wings on the end.
Oh, okay.
I always thought it was the coolest weapon.
What about with the chain and the ball on the end?
A flail?
Yeah, I'd be so worried about hitting myself with that.
It seems a little cumbersome. But a mace? I don't know. I just
put it into someone's head.
I always liked it. It doesn't matter if they're wearing armor on their head because it's still just gonna knock them out.
So we see that he can actually use that hammer / axe / whatever it is.
Beats those two overly inquisitive guards.
Exactly. So the less said about them, the better.
I liked Rita playing the scene though in my best Cockney accent.
That was. Yeah, that was... Go on, do your...
I don't.
You don't want to do it? No, that's fine.
They just wouldn't shut up. What's on your boat? And then he's like, don't worry about what's on the boat. Here's some money. Like, we don't want... Okay, it's more money. We need more money. And he gives them more money. And they're like, what's all this then? What's this on the boat? And they're like, it's crab. Eat the crab. Oh, you have a dwarf with you? It's just like, leave. And they end up dying.
We were looking for a dwarf with a scar. Yeah. Idiots. It's like...
Wasn't a dwarf what killed Tyrion Lannister? Shut up.
Honestly, I don't even think they even knew that guy's name. I think they... But anyway, so they end up getting killed just to show off how that guy can use his weapon.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to go to as well, which is I think probably one of the funniest things, is Jon Snow goes back to the wall and takes the son, the bastard son, he takes the Onion Knight, and he takes... Who else came with him?
He took Gentry? The Onion Knight. He
went
went with the wall, but he wasn't going to go into the wall.
That's right, yeah.
He wasn't going to go into the...
Yeah,
because he's not a fighter. But he went with them. I don't know. Who else did he take? That was it.
I think that was it. But they show up and they find probably one of my favourite characters, the Ginger Wildling, and not Jon Snow's girlfriend, the male version. Her brother, her big ugly brother.
Was it her brother?
I don't think so. I'd be very surprised.
I don't think it was.
But he's awesome. He's just like this freaking just beast man, and he's huge. And I just loved it. He's like, "Homie, I'm with you," and they're like, "Oh, it's just us." And he's like, "Did you bring the big woman?" And I just loved that. I was like. He's in love with Brienne. It's like
he loves her so much.
He's like absolutely in love. But Brienne's meant for Jaime.
No.
She's
Jaime
meant for
would
Jaime.
never go for Brienne.
I think he would.
You think so?
She's blonde.
That's true. But she's not his sister, so.
And the wildling's not blonde. So I don't think Jamie's got a chance with the wildling guy.
Do you think that Brienne and the wildling guy will ever get together?
I don't think so. I
No?
don't think so. I think she's. I mean, they might do, but I think honestly, one of them's going to die. I could see Brienne actually dying pretty soon.
Really?
So I could see her dying because of Littlefinger.
You think? Okay.
Like I could see her like almost saving herself for one of the girls, like either Sansa or Arya.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through a quick theory I have.
Okay.
Because we're coming up on the end here.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I think is how it's all going to play out, and I've been absolutely wrong with every prediction so far. So
Not every prediction, to be honest. When we spoke before, and again we didn't capture this because we kind of we had a few weeks before we did this, so we got a couple of episodes. Is you did wonder where the bastard son was,
that is
and
true.
he shows up. So you were right about that. That's 1-0 to you, out of like probably 1,500 predictions we've each made. So it's 1-0 to
It wasn't
you.
even a prediction. I just said, where's that character? And
Yeah,
it
but
shows up.
you wondered where he was. I
That's
didn't even
true.
wonder. I thought he was gone. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Okay, so the whole thing that happened with Arya and Sansa.
Yes.
They show them at that they're still at what's the name of their place?
Winterfell.
They're at Winterfell. And so Arya starts watching Littlefinger because everyone knows not to trust him, and the only reason they're keeping him around, Sansa's keeping him around, is because he's got an army.
The Knights of the Vale.
Yeah, that's the only reason. So he's there. Arya, they show like a montage of Arya spying on him,
Yeah.
and then he gives. Now Arya sees him give this girl a note or
Yeah.
something. It's in the shadows, and then she also sees him talking to this guy like a Meister.
He gives him the notes. So he gives something to the girls. The girl must give the information to someone else. So that could be two different things.
I don't think so. I think he paid the girl to hide the note somewhere deep in the archives, and then he told the old guy to find something
Oh,
to
you're
find
absolutely
it.
right. Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, it was hard to find, but it was buried way in there," and he found it. So I think it was planted. Now Arya saw this whole thing. So then Arya goes in and finds the message. So now the last scene, I think, of the whole episode is they show Littlefinger seeing her take it, so he knows that she took it.
But with that, do you think that she knows that
He knows. I think that here's what I hope to happen. And again, I could be way off. The episode before, they're talking about loyalties, or was it? No, was that maybe that same episode? Sansa says, "My father always told me that men of the North were different, that they were more loyal."
Yeah.
I want what I want to happen is to Littlefinger be up to his old tricks and fail because he's not playing in King's Landing, where everyone is ready to stab each other in the back. But he thinks he's got Arya and Sansa at odds, and they're actually working together because they know better to try to. They're family. They're not going to distrust each other, and they're just going to tell each other what each other knows and trick Littlefinger.
I would love to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen just because I think Sansa is kind of blinded almost. I think she knows that Littlefinger isn't to be trusted,
Yeah.
but she still trusts him. After the Knights of the Vale came to the rescue of Jon Snow, she feels like she's indebted to him, so she has to keep him around because she knows that he's got the army that
Right.
they need. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm not going to make any predictions just because I've been wrong with everyone. So I'm going to not make one, and then maybe I don't know. None of the ones I've said could ever come to fruition, other than the one that I'm almost positive is the Sansa dying this season.
Sansa dying.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a prediction that I know will play out.
go on.
Jon Snow will live through the next episode.
That might not be true.
But I'll have one. I feel pretty safe with that one.
That's a good one. My prediction,
Yeah.
I've got a prediction, guaranteed. If anyone wants to put a bet on this, Jon Snow will be in the next episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Every single penny that I own because I saw the preview to the next episode.
Wow, okay. All right. I guess we'll
my
just...
predictions need guarantees right now. I need to get some right just to kind of get me going.
So everyone listening, you'll have to return next week to see if our incredibly risky and poignant predictions come true.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this. So we've gone through 3. So what did you think of... Let's just take it as how many episodes have we...
This is the 3rd.
This is the 3rd episode we've done, but this is the 5th episode of Game of Thrones,
right.
Correct?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What's been your favourite episode out of the 5?
This one.
This
Last
one? I'd probably say the one before. I'd say that one before.
It's got the one before's got that cool factor because dragons are fighting.
Yeah.
But I really I like I love the whole. It's almost like a heist movie, which I like. It's like we got to go to the north. That's such like a practical thing to me. Is okay. We need to prove to everyone that there's zombies. Basically,
Yeah.
How do we do it? Go get a zombie and bring it here. Like it makes so much sense. I love it.
Yeah.
Like I love that whole like.
Prove that there's ghosts in the world. How do you do that? Record a ghost. It's
I love the plan. I like the plan. It's like, oh, let's go
a bit
get
like,
one.
oh, you've got that stone stuff over you. Let's just peel it off.
That's pretty much what happened.
No, it's
And they put some moisturizer on.
this newest one's been really good. I mean, this season's been fantastic so far. It's just amazing to me how like I really bashed the first episode, and the season's like been my favourite season. But then again, I probably was thinking the same thing throughout every other season.
Yeah.
But it's really, really impressed, and hopefully it just carries on. So
I miss Tommen.
you miss Tommen?
Oh, I miss him.
What? Just him? Just
That's
his
the actor.
Yeah,
He's such a presence.
just sitting in the corner and listening to the.
I love having a
Faithful.
character that always looks a few seconds away from crying.
That's true. That's true.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. And
hold on.
What?
Before that,
Oh,
let's just talk about next week.
Okay.
So obviously we'll do one episode next week.
Right.
Do we want to do a movie, and do we want to do Guardians of the
I
Galaxy
think we should
2?
do Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's out on video.
Or
now.
should we do Guardians of the Galaxy 1 first, and then do Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
We could.
Or did you do Guardians of the Galaxy
That's
2?
like 3
I'm
years
pretty
ago.
sure everyone has seen Guardians. Hey, we did Titanic. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but that was important to you for some strange reason.
It was important to me because it was important to you. No, guys, that we'll probably end up doing Guardians of the Galaxy next week. I mean, please let us know if you prefer just listening to us talk about Game of Thrones, or if you prefer listening to the movies. I know, like, my mum doesn't even watch Game of Thrones, but she's like, I don't really watch Game of Thrones, but I like listening to you guys. So she usually just fast forwards straight to the movie part. So with this one, she'll probably keep fast forwarding, going, when do they get to the movie?
We don't. We dress that at the beginning.
Exactly. So, but anyway, you want to sign off?
No, you could do it.
Okay. Well, guys, please like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. It's getting
Even if
low.
it's
Our
spam.
comments are getting even if it's spam. Someone did put a comment in there and it got taken off. So even if it's spam, don't care. Even if you want to use us to promote your stuff or take us to your dodgy website or whatever, then do it. But yeah, no, like, subscribe, comment, bash, complain about, report to YouTube, do whatever you want. But thanks, guys. Hopefully you'll get to listen to us next week.